Guys, you must have heard that recently the US has imposed numerous sanctions on Chinese companies such as Huawei, SMIC, and Nora Technology, causing China to lose billions of dollars.
Allowed the White House to place sanctions on Chinese officials.
The West seems to have launched a multi-dimensional attack on China. On the Chinese
Adding to their grievances, COVID-19 struck China in 2020, disrupting the global supply chain between Western countries and China. Years have gone, but out of the above-mentioned companies, only few have set up their manufacturing plant in India. But the question is that where did all these companies go? Interestingly, Vietnam has become the next manufacturing hub for these companies. Today's topic is to deep dive into these three insights and find out why these companies love Vietnam. As you can see on the screen, this is a city in Vietnam where people are bustling around, buying and selling goods, and the technology is very advanced. But the situation was not always the same. This story dates back to 1975 when the Vietnam War got over after 20 freaking years. It caused massive loss of life, displacement of people, and economic devastation. Adding to the grievances of the poor, inflation was skyrocketing, making it very hard for people to gain education and have access to healthy food. To mitigate this maze of economic nightmare, Vietnam needed to invest into its human resource in terms of health and education. Harshly, to provide these facilities, Vietnam didn't have any infrastructure. Its centrally planned economy struggled to recover from the war's devastation. If we take a broader look at the economy, it was growing by just 1.4% from 1976 to 1980. The country was heavily dependent on agriculture, but the production was so low that it had to import 1.57 million tons of food. Now people, the question is that what miracle happened in the country that its per capita GDP grew from $230 in 1985 to becoming 10 times, that is $2,343 in 2017. As its centrally planned economy wasn't working out, Vietnam started introducing a series of economic and political reforms in 1986 called Doi Moi, mainly focusing on socialist-oriented market economy in which private companies would be given a greater role in nation's development. As expected from capitalism, food production soared, industrial production surged, and the trade deficit reduced considerably as exports were increasing. To rock solid its foundation, Vietnam also started investing heavily in human and physical capital, predominantly through public investments. Result of all this was that its GDP expanded by an annual average of 6.51% during 1986 to 2000. Finally, because of this revolutionary Doi Moi, Vietnam's nightmare of vicious cycle of poverty was seen ending when the poverty rate as calculated by the World Bank dropped to 6.7% in 2018 from 28.9% in 2002. Why the companies are relocating them from China to Vietnam. In October 2022, every Indian was excited to hear how major Western companies could ditch China and set up their manufacturing plants in India. Sadly, the news was only partially true. Some of the companies relocated themselves to India, but most of the other companies, mainly comprising of semiconductor companies, relocated themselves to Vietnam. Vietnam offers several advantages for manufacturers planning to relocate their business, including lower cost, an attractive business environment, and Vietnam's geographic proximity to China, which allows companies to maintain close ties with their existing supply chains while benefiting from lower cost and favorable trade conditions. Not to mention the political stability in the country because of the one-party system, which increases the confidence of the businesses to set up their factories. Vietnam is a party to 17 free trade agreements, making it one of the most open economies in Southeast Asia. Double tax avoidance agreements also played a significant role in attracting various companies to Vietnam. For those of you who don't know about it, here is a simple explanation. Suppose if a US company decided to expand their operations in India and it earns an income of $20,000. Now the US government will say pay the tax to them And the Indian government will say, no, you have earned the income in India, so you have to pay the tax here. So, to solve this problem, countries sign double tax avoidance agreements in which they come to a conclusion to decide which country has the right to charge taxes on them. More than 80 countries and territories have signed DTAs with Vietnam as of 2024. These treaties eliminate double taxation through identifying exemptions or reducing tax payable in Vietnam for residents of the signatories of the agreements. Now let's talk about what are the lessons for India. Look, every investor wants a politically stable environment. India has improved this matrix as BJP has formed their government for the third consecutive time, making India a politically stable country than it was previously. The second lesson is that every economy which wants to become the next manufacturing hub needs to work hard on its infrastructure development, Vietnam being a classic example of this. India is trying its level best to compete with these countries but needs to put more efforts.